And so I'll just repeat a few things quickly. So again, we've been told by all the different mystics something very suspicious, that we are living in a dream, and that someone else is writing this novel, and that we are characters, and some of us are angels and some of us are demons. But actually the key is to be the best version of the character that we came here to be. And that even if we are in a, let's say, the demonic kind of version of the character, that even then it is important to awaken the love within and become all love. Very suspicious. And so one day Divine Mother came to me and she says, Adi, everybody's going to be awakening from a dream within a dream. And I really didn't know what to do with it, except for obviously listened to Yogananda for so many years, who kept saying this is actually a projected reality. Now, all very interesting. Who is projecting this reality? And what is our part? And so I was told by not only Yogananda, but Divine Mother, that the most important thing is just to be all love. And so it simplified it for me. Being all love, I think we know exactly what that means. It means my thoughts are love, my feelings are love, my actions are love, my words are love. And so sometimes, we can go down the rabbit hole. Where is this reality coming from? Who's projecting it? Is it really a movie? Is it really being projected? Yogananda insisted, actually, for those of you who know this, he insisted that there is a projector projecting this reality, just like in the old movie theater. I don't know how they do it now, but in the old movie theaters, I remember when I was a kid, you would go into a movie theater and you would see behind you where the light was coming from, being projected from the projecting room onto the canvas, onto the screen. And Yogananda said he would not go into the movie theater because you already are in a movie theater. And so big puzzle pieces coming together. So I'm going to share this because I just came across someone online on YouTube who studied this incredible hologram. And I do believe this man has done amazing research, just research, nothing through, meditation. It's just research. But he came to the conclusion that this is absolutely a projected reality. And this is absolutely a construct, and that we are within the construct. And this man, his name is Jason. His channel on YouTube is called Archaics. And he was recommended by Ben Davidson, that we all probably look at space weather. And so I was really curious. And this man, who studied so many thousands and thousands and thousands of ancient books, actually came to the conclusion that this is a projected reality, that it is a construct, that it is totally very mathematical, very regular. But within this, within this construct, we all have the same role. And I really like that. He said it is to remember that you are an immortal, and that we, even though the hologram is here constantly giving us some kind of reflection of our thoughts, our feelings, our words, that actually we have the power. And I'm bringing this up because it all makes sense. I only really listen to Divine Mother and Yogananda and Divine Source. But Divine Mother said to me once that she is always reflecting to us, and that whatever is within us is reflected onto the canvas of our reality by her. When we are great within, she will make us even greater without. Meaning, as you know, she is a multiplier. She multiplies goodness. She never told me that she would multiply suffering, because suffering to her is not her reality, even though we choose sometimes our own reality to be that, but it is not her design, as you know. And so Divine Mother, as she explained it, is, she said, clean up within and all around will be cleaned up too. And she said, it is all up to you, meaning, she was talking to me. So I say, it is all up to us. So number one, of course, we want to clean up our own reality. And our own reality cannot be cleaned up by going outside of ourselves. It has to be cleaned up by going inside of ourselves. And so as mystics, as you know, and really alchemists, because we are in the process of transmutation, we might find, I call it the bad neighborhoods within. And then once you find a bad neighborhood within, usually it's the mind, and then of course the emotions that get triggered, we have the power to completely transform our own being and to be clean. Clean thoughts, clean feelings, clean words, clean actions. It's actually not that difficult. So And so we get to that place of cleanness, internal energy. And of course, sometimes it requires burning such massive amounts of also karma, which we call in this world. It simply is energy that has not been transmuted just yet. Energy, in a way, is not a punishment to us. Energy is simply something that wants to be resolved to become once again all love. You know, this is the simple, you know, there are many different teachings and they might be complicated about karma, but this is how it works. Love comes to us and it really looks like love light. It is the emanation of divine source. It is sent into all creation equally. Everyone can tap into it equally. There is no such thing like, oh, you get more, you get less. No, it's like, here it is, guys. Take it in if you can. And it is up to us to take it in, of course, fully or not so fully, just a little bit or too much, maybe not, that doesn't exist. So we'll take it all in. We take it in, life force. And this life force was love light. What we do with it, it's up to us, always up to us. What we do with it is not determined so much by actually our conscious mind in this world, but in this world, it is unfortunately determined by all the stuff that is within us. So like waterfall, this love light comes in, and like a waterfall, it runs through us and it reads everything about us, everything, no secrets, nothing can be hidden. And when it reads us, it also flows out of us and it becomes our life. So this is pretty incredible. And so let's say that within us was that bad neighborhood and this beautiful love light had to run through it. And then it got actually diminished. Now it is the word tarnished? I don't know. It just came into my mind. But suddenly it's not as clean as it was when it came in. So now this dirty expression is on the outside of us. So the mirror, tarnished. Okay, thank you. So suddenly you have a reflection of your bad neighborhood outside of yourself for you to see it. It's very simple, very logical. And okay, it never is pleasant. And now what? What happens in the typical human condition? You see, well, I don't want to say you, let's say we see something on the outside and we don't like it. And we say, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it. Well, what we're doing now is we're making it bigger and bigger and bigger because the waterfall of life is still flowing through us. And every time we say, I don't like it, well, we once again have that tarnished reality on the outside of us. And then is this infinite cycle of just, you know, it's the recycling process. This energy that is diminished now is everywhere around us. And then we have 8 billion people saying, I don't like these conditions. But because we know where to look, we must first resolve it. The resolution happens only through love. And it is internal process of transformation. And then all the energy around us that has our name on it, because it always has your name on it. It never, ever forgets us. That's the crazy thing. Whatever energy flew through us as that really waterfall of love light, it got our signature. And then it came out. And now it is out here in this world somewhere as a situation, as a condition, as this or that. And it will forever have our name on it, especially if it is unresolved, meaning it was not used with all love. And until we resolve it, it will be calling our attention. So we all have been projecting for millions of years into this world. And that's why Yogananda called us cleaners. And he really meant it. The thing is that we also can absolutely find shortcuts to that cleaning. And one of them we did yesterday, cleaning up with the violet flame, cleaning up with the divine self, cleaning up with divine source. And I think Yogananda found the biggest shortcut. not only Kriya Yoga, for example, that he taught, and that is really part of the inner engineering that Sadhguru teaches as well. Yogananda suggested, since everything's being projected and we are characters in this movie, the characters can also wake up and say, hang on a second, if I'm a character in this movie, I must also be able to actually manipulate reality and say whatever I want to say and do whatever I want to do. And this was the awakening of Dattatreya, for example. If you look up the stories of Dattatreya, those are great stories where a yogi realizes you actually can also be above the hologram and say, you know what, all this karma, all this misused life force, hang on a second, I don't want to suffer anymore. Please, you can have it, divine source. And Yogananda wrote about it quite a bit. And he said, just give it back to divine source, and said, hey, you sent me here. You didn't tell me how this was going to work. I forgot. There is the veil of illusion. How was I supposed to know? Now that I awakened in here, I don't want to have to transmuting all of it. I just want to give it to you. And so that is the power of divine confidence. And so that's it. And so now, amazing stuff. So we have amazing power. The key is to remember the power. People call it awakening. Awakening comes in many different forms, but really the true awakening is realizing this divine confidence. I always compare it to the movie Matrix. When Neo awakens, he stops the bullet with his consciousness, with his mind, right? And suddenly there is no illusion. You are above it. And we can call it illusion. You know, the yogis had many different names for it, Mahamaya. And so what it is really realization that everything is being projected through us. And not only personally, but also collectively. But every single one of us is that immortal being who can awaken from it, within it, and has the power. We have that power. So it's not to be, disenchanted with what is out here, but saying, hang on a second, I see what's out here. Let me project something else. And so we are changing the channel within to be a very clean channel. And if we find something that was projected through us into this world, either we transmute it ourselves, or we simply tap into that divine confidence and say, within this hologram, I didn't realize how this worked. So now, divine source, you take it. You can deal with this. That's it. So I'm going to play a little bit of this guy that I have been listening to while cleaning and getting ready for the Christmas Eve here. Jason from the Archaics channel. And for those of you who have listened to this guy before, it's down the rabbit hole, but it's just his research. But I liked when he says, there are two ways to wake up in the morning within the hologram in this projected world. And I like the way where you realize you are immortal. As it was just like 2 minutes, if that's okay with you. And I think this is where it starts. I was quickly looking for it, where I was listening to it. It's fascinating, by the way. So here, I think he says 2 ways to wake up.
So in a nutshell, having made all these conclusions and including the Phoenix phenomenon with these and many of the videos that I didn't have time to really to add here because it would unnecessarily make this video long, it makes me draw other conclusions about who we are and what we're capable of. If reality itself is this beautiful holographic magical construct, then there has to be different ways that we can take advantage of that. And that's what this video is about, the magical architecture of our reality. What is that? Everyone at the gas station has to hear you? I don't even understand that.
What?
Yeah, I just read that comment because it had all of them smiley faces on it. The magical architecture.
Oh, they probably just had their Bluetooth turned on in the vehicle and had it turned up at the gas station.
Oh, so that's cool. So the magical, if reality has this magical base to it, and I believe it does, I've read a lot of good literature on that, then I have to necessarily conclude that this that I'm able to work with it. And that's what this video was about. This is, there is a wizard within you. I know for a fact a lot of you have never listened to this video because I can look at the analytics and see. Now, if we live in a magical structure, then there's going to be ways that we can capitalize off that structure. If we have a self-awareness of our place within that structure, then we should be able to manipulate the holography to our advantage. This is the core conclusion to all the archaics material. It's not the doomsaying. Over and over in my We Immortals playlist, this is the teaching that I'm giving you the most. It's that we are co-creators, and that as a co-creator, we have two choices at all time. Every time you wake up in the morning, there's two choices. Do you want to build and use the free builder protocols of the simulacrum that will reflect back to you anything you project? Or do you want to live in the collective that day and be bitter and just do the same thing you did the day before and then complain about it before you go to sleep and go to sleep on that vibration so you wake up on that vibration, and as a member of the collective, you're in stasis and get nothing done? Or you can recognize the wizardry within and start doing some really amazing things in your life. So that's what simulation theory does for me. It frees me from the chains of the past that have continually told me that I have to be this, I have to be that. I can only move forward at this time. I'm not allowed to ascend to this level. It says the past is not a precedence for the spiritual individual, but the past is a predicate for the future for the collective, because their events are fixed, their fate is fixed. So I think
this was amazing, right? Like, this guy just did a bunch of research. It's not even through meditation, but like he wrote he read like 2,000 books and came with this conclusion. So the events for the collective are fixed because of the past decisions, but we don't have to be part of it if we decide to be projecting something else. So that's pretty incredible to me. Absolutely brilliant. The free builder protocol. Yes, we can make our own movie. The thing is, we do have to free our mind, don't we? Because the mind is very limited. It tells you that these conditions are restrictive very often and that they are given, but nothing is given when we go into the freedom. So that's why, I say, working with Oren, we use our amazing divine mind to liberate every single condition in our lives. So to me, this is brilliant what he said, just that little blurb here. So let us project clean energy out. What comes in is love light. Why shouldn't love light be projected onto the canvas and even more beautified? Beautification is what we do here. And so today we have this amazing meditation with Oren. Yeah. And this will be really fun. Once again, because we liberate the mind, we go into divine mind of infinite possibilities. And so we bring divine light. We work with always the layers of, the human has the soul within, beyond the soul is the spirit. And then we have the divine self, which is really the whole divine being with all the little bits and pieces within. And so we work today with the soul level. And this is track number 10 from this amazing album, Increasing Our Inner Light. So let us go in. Strong intention. This group is bringing in the light of the soul, the light of the spirit, and we are illuminating the physical body. We are bringing in really radiance into the atomic level of our being. So
Greetings from Oren. In this journey, you will join with your soul to spin out some of the denser matter in your body and to bring in a higher, finer light. Imagine the solar light above.
So this was very, very powerful and magical. Yogananda always said, wake from the cosmic dream. And so this is how we wake up, realizing the power within us. And this is really the true awakening, is realizing the divine confidence within us, that we are magicians, and that magicians, you can call them co-creators, but I like the word magicians, that as magicians, we get that love light flowing through us like a waterfall. And then what we do with it, it's truly just our decision. And when we decide that all energies running through us will be beautified, imagine that. Imagine that. So we really truly are those beautifiers. So if you say the waterfall of love light that runs through me will always remain love light, but I will beautify it with my ideas, with my imaginations, right? So that's pretty amazing. It just really makes sense. And so what we're going to do now is a magical ritual. If you want to stay with us, it will take about 10 minutes. And this is, again, what do you want to do in this hologramic reality? This is not the only reality that is a hologram. Actually, all realities are, as far as I can tell. And I will just share one little story. And that is, when you travel out of body, you get to visit these different realities. And so you get to see how actually all beings are these magicians. Everyone is projecting something. Everyone is dreaming. That's why we call it a dream time. And so we are dreaming realities into being. And then, of course, it's a good idea to be dreaming beautiful dreams, as Divine Mother says. And so I remember, this was a while ago, I traveled to another parallel reality. And, you find other human beings living in parallel realities. And I spoke to a man and he asked me, are we dreaming? And when you ask yourself that question, that is the beginning of the awakening. Because like in a lucid dream, if any of you are lucid dreamers, when you are in a lucid dream, which is just another really version of parallel reality in a way, and you wake up in that dream, what happens? You get the power to manipulate that reality. So this is all within us. So these incredible multidimensional experiences just show us the power that we have to actually create realities. And so today, if any of you want to stay here with me, we're doing the ritual of the wine of the mystics. And who doesn't have wine here with you, then water, tea, juice, it doesn't have to be, but I found this is kind of fun. Yogananda wrote a book called The Wine of the Mystics, and it has so many wonderful drawings of the angels bringing the wine to humans. So the way that this really is, within these higher dimensions, you do have elixirs. And sometimes you get to have these elixirs. It's pretty incredible. I wouldn't say necessarily that the wine that we have in this world right now is that elixir from a higher dimension, but the original story, as far as I know from the Taoist teaching, goes that it was these higher beings who brought this elixir to humanity 85,000 years ago. So I do have my red wine here that was made by my family and grown by my family. So I feel, honored to take a little sip here before I give it to Divine Mother. And so whatever it is that you have, this will be a ritual. So we are doing really elemental magic. We are here to create an offering for Divine Mother. I am in California, kind of Napa, Sonoma, the wine country, really. And so, let us go into the ritual. Why do we give offering to Divine Mother? Very often it is as an exchange with something that we desire. That's how it has been done by the magicians that I know. And that very often is fulfilled immediately. And that is, we exchange energy for energy. But this time we will do it simply to honor the Mother. So if you have your chalice, if you have a beautiful glass, whatever you have, and then for now, we will not be pouring the wine of the mystics into the glass or into the chalice just yet, but we will go through a process that was given through the Kabbalah. So the Kabbalistic magic, the tree of life magic. Once again, this time we are just simply giving a gift of love to Divine Mother, and we are using her elements to deliver it. And so, ready? If you have an altar, I wanted to actually show you a picture of my altar I showed before. I always sit by my altar when we do these calls for my invocation. It changes depending on what I'm doing, but this is my altar today. And so it's good to have all these different reminders and magical tools and crystals, magic wands, and so on, whatever serves you, of course, and whatever it is that you are working with. And so we also will need something that represents the mother. If you don't have a statue of the mother, it's good to have maybe a crystal, a flower. It can be anything that represents the mother. So definitely there's a lot going on here. And we have a beautiful picture of the mother here. I really don't have anything. Maybe this. Okay. And so I'll play music from my phone. I normally don't do that, but I just realized that I cannot do it through the laptop when we're doing the invocation. So I don't know if we can hear it or not. Okay. Let us connect deeply with what it is that we are within this reality or any other reality. We are love. We are always love. The highest way of being, and I believe the only really fulfilling way to be, is love. And so this reality sometimes is a temptation where we are tempted not to be love. That to me is the ultimate temptation, not to be love. And we can always say yes. Yes to love. And so let us go into this ritual for Divine Mother with love. And I will be reading from this specific process. This is a ritual, which is an offering to the goddess, to Divine Mother. We will give her an offering without asking for anything in return. When we do these magical rituals and when we are invoking, it's always good to go into your divine authority and speak with that authority, speak with dignity, and speak with love and devotion. So you will need a glass, a chalice, a goblet, I like that word, the Holy Grail, and a representation of the mother that can be a statue, picture, seashell, or even a flower. You will need some red wine or anything else that you have, and an altar if you have. And this ritual specifically is best performed on the new moon, which we just had yesterday, and we are still in this new moon portal. And so now let us go into the ritual. Place the empty chalice and the representation of the goddess on your altar. If you can, kneel in front of your altar with your arms outstretched, palms up, and form a mental image of the goddess. And we are using our breath deep in and deep out to connect with the energies of the mother through the heart in love. See Divine Mother in every detail. And now let us invoke her. You can repeat or just listen or repeat in your head, whatever you prefer. Great Mother, who are the Queen of heaven and earth, we call to you. From your breasts flow the nourishing waters of life and the cold rivers of the underworld. From you all things are born, and to you all things go when the time comes for them to perish. For the womb that bears us is also the tomb. The brightest stars in the sky are on your crown, blessed goddess be present here with us so that we may adore you at your feet. And now let us wait for a moment to allow the power of the goddess to wash over us. Breathing deeply, allowing her to come in fully and completely into our physicality, into our energy. And now let us meditate in the presence of the goddess who is here with us. Mother, hear our praises. We are humbled before you. We love you with all that we are. And now, my friends, let us fill the chalice with wine of the mystics and raise the goblet to the image of the goddess on your altar. And let us say together, I worship and adore all that you are, Mother. And I give myself in love to you. I love you with all that I am. I love you completely and without reservation. I love you with all that I am. And today, I ask nothing in return. Now take a sip of the wine of the mystics. Connecting deeply with the body of the mother and her elemental nature, and place your chalice back on the altar. And now, my friends, the dance party. Divine Mother is always celebrated through dance, through singing, and also through devotion, any type of devotion. And so for a few moments, if you feel like singing, if you feel like dancing, we will be chanting the Mother's chant, which is Ma, and we'll sing along with her and dance along with her. Sorry, I just stopped. So hopefully everybody enjoyed some movement, some dancing, and we will close this ritual. So when you are ready, we will end the ritual. Let us once again kneel before the altar with our arms outstretched, if we can, to say goodbye to Divine Mother. Great Mother, who are the Queen of heaven and earth, we thank you for attending this rite of worship. We now bid you farewell, knowing that you heard our praise and that you received our love. Blessed be, blessed be, blessed be. And now our ritual is concluded. And so we are invited, see you soon, Mother, to take the chalice outside if you can, and to pour our offerings upon the earth. She loves offerings, and she will accept our love through her own elemental body as well. So, houseplants. I wouldn't give wine specifically to houseplants, but if you have, outside on some, I definitely have a place where I pour wine onto her. And so, Divine Mother, we love you. She loves our love. Absolutely. Absolutely. She comes where the hearts are open. She comes where devotion is. Yogananda once wanted to improve my divine performance, and he says, Adi, you need to be more devotional. So here is our devotion to Divine Mother. And so thank you. And what will happen tonight, of course, many of you are actually celebrating Christmas right now. So I want to acknowledge that and to actually say, invite Christ into your being. Christ is not exactly what people think it is when they say they believe in Jesus, but there is Christ light and there is Christ consciousness, and that is our destiny. And I was once meditating close to the Grand Canyon at Christmas, and suddenly my third eye opened and I could see how each one of us actually receives a gift of the cosmic Christ, really downloaded into our crown during Christmas. So it's very special. So let us receive beautifully as well. And tomorrow we only have one, but a very special event, and it's going to be at 11 a.m. Pacific. And so only one. And we're going to be going into the pools of rejuvenation. And we will repeat it later also so that the other group can do it. And I just have one question before we conclude. And that is, because next week, I don't have to work, so I can actually be online anytime. But I was wondering if 5 p.m. Pacific actually is best for Australia and East Coast, or if we should do an hour earlier so that, for example, East Coast doesn't have to join these calls at 8 p.m., but it could be 7 p.m. So I'm wondering what would be better. If we should leave it as is, 8 p.m. is best. Okay, good. And earlier. Okay, we'll mix and match. Okay, so many blessings. And tomorrow, 11 a.m. is our one event. Okay, as is. Okay, so we'll keep it as is. Wonderful. So next week will be all week, 11 a.m. and then 5 p.m. Pacific. So the whole week we can do without any changes. So thank you so much and many blessings. I'm taking my wine out here and give it to Divine Mother. Cheers.